everybody, it's Avril from Timp Food Studio here. I've just come along to make some kebabs. So I'm going to make some Middle Eastern chicken kebabs, some Pitta bread and a nice yogurt dip to go with it. Okay, so we'll start with our marinade first. Okay, so I've got some crushed chilies here. So about 1/4 teaspoon into my pestle and mortar. And I'll just grind those down just to make them really fine. And then some paprika. And then a pinch of cinnamon, which is a warm spice. Just a little bit. Some black pepper. Pinch of cumin. And a dash of this lime juice, or you can use lemon juice if you like. I'm going to mix a little bit of yogurt, just plain yogurt. This will marinate the meat and soften it. And I think I'll add a little bit of garlic as well. So I'm just going to crush that. And add that to my marinade. And I think I've got some nice fresh coriander here. I'm just going to add just a small handful. Finely chop that, because I love coriander. So just give that a mix through. It will look like this. Okay. So I've just cut, I'm just making one kebab, so it's about 90 grams, 100 grams of chicken fillet, okay, and I've just diced it into kebab sized pieces. So I'll pop that in the marinade. And ideally you could leave this overnight to marinate, but maybe an hour to 2 hours would be ideal. Okay. I'll just prepare my vegetables. So soft vegetables are best. You can have cherry tomatoes, you could have courgettes. I always eat in colour. So I've got some yellow pepper, some red pepper, and mushroom. So not too small, otherwise they fall off your kebab stick. Okay. So I'm using a wooden kebab stick, so I've just soaked it in some water so it doesn't burn. Okay. Just put my gloves on. And then just thread away. Nice piece of red pepper, some mushroom, chicken, just squeeze another piece of chicken on there, and there we go. So you could leave these in the fridge ready to cook. I'll just pop them there, and I'll prepare my pita breads. It's a really easy recipe. So it's quick pita breads, so it's got baking powder in it. Okay, so I've got 125 grams of plain flour. This is baking powder, so about 1/4 teaspoon, just over maybe. This helps them puff up. And then I've got some milk in here, and I'm just going to add a spoonful of yogurt. This will make it nice and tangy. And I'm going to make it up to about 60 ml. Okay. So I don't add any salt. You can do if you like. So just mix it up and then pour it in. So you're making like a dough. So it's a little bit dry still, so I'm just going to add just a little bit more milk or oil if you have it, just to bind all those dry bits up. It's best to underdo it than overdo it. So it's quite cold in here, so it's not absorbing, so I'm just going to add a little bit more milk. Gather it together. Should be a nice soft dough. So it's nearly there. There's just a few dry bits. I'm just going to add a little bit more milk or oil. Just to gather those bits up. So this isn't a yeasted dough, so you don't necessarily have to knead it, but you do want it nice and smooth so you can roll it out. So I said it was a quick dough because it's using baking powder. So it'll start working as soon as you add the liquid. You can rest it for 5 or 10 minutes if you like, or you can just work with it. Okay. I'm just smoothing it, make it into a nice smooth ball. So out of this recipe you'll get, depending what size pita breads you like, 2 large ones or 3 mini ones. And there's our dough. Okay, so let's do 2. Okay, you can weigh them if you like, but I'm just eyeballing it. So there's 2, and then you want to smooth it round into a ball. It's not jagged edges. Like that. The flour stops it from sticking. And roll them into pita shape or tear shape. These are great with curries as well. So if you haven't got any naan bread, you could make these, put some garlic in and fresh coriander. Okay. And they're ready to grill. Okay, I use a grill to keep them nice and soft. If you tend to put them in the oven, they tend to go really hard. So I just grill them both sides on a really hot tray. Okay, there's my two pittas ready for the hot grill. And then I'll just show you how to make, this is just a nice yogurt dip. So a few spoonfuls of plain yogurt. And then I've got some fresh mint leaves. So I'm just going to scrunch those up. Gives a lovely smell. You can add a little bit of garlic if you like. I'm just going to leave it as that. That's a little bit like a tzatziki or in Greece, or a raita in Indian. Okay, so I'll cook my kebabs off and I'll cook my pittas off and I'll see you in a bit. Hi, so I put my chicken kebab in the oven at 180 and I baked it for about 20 minutes and turned it halfway. There's my chicken kebab. And the pitta breads, I put my grill on, made sure it was nice and hot, put my tray in, made sure my tray was nice and hot, and then placed my pitta breads onto the tray and then waited for it to bubble up, and you got brown spots on it, and then I turned it over and did the other side. And that's my pitta bread. So serve it with a little bit of yogurt, mint, dip, like that. See you again.